Welcome everyone. We're going to look at a really unique product from CC here. This is their version of a cordless chainsaw, a mini cordless chainsaw. And I got to say, at first I was a little skeptical, but when I got this guy and actually put it into service, it was absolutely a joy to use. Now we're going to take a look at the kit here and what comes in it. It's got some safety gloves for us. I don't know if these are cut resistant. I don't know that that would matter to a chainsaw blade or not. The cloth is probably going to get wound up in that chain anyway. Hopefully that cordage stops the saw before it gets too far. I'm not saying these are safety gloves or not. I don't really know. I do know they give us a pair of safety glasses, which are actually pretty nice. This is the saw itself. Pretty straightforward. It's got a safety right here. You need to push this before you pull the trigger. Now, I don't have a battery in here yet, so nothing's going to happen. It does have a tilt-away blade guard for the top when it's in use. I imagine if you were a carver of wood, you might not want that in place. It does have everything you need to set the tension for this chain. And we're going to take a look at that right now. There's really a limited amount of adjustments that you need to do on this tool, but it is quite capable and also surprisingly powerful for its diminutive size. Now they do say that they limit the size of wood that you want to do with this to about 5.5 inches, or I think like 140 millimeters. And that's probably good advice. This is a 6-inch bar. I don't think you're going to be able to cut more than 5.5 inches on there. They give us a spare chain and a bottle of lube for lubing the chain. Now this is important. This doesn't, like a lot of good chainsaws, have an auto lube on them. But this guy is used and it's compact enough that you're going to have to apply the oil yourself as you use it. And they do give us an oiler that you can use to just put some oil on this bar. And that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to reduce the friction between this chain and the bar itself. But you do have a second chain, so you can keep those sharp. And there is instructions in the manual for keeping this guy tuned up. Now this is the bar wrench. This is what you're going to use to take this apart for service. Now we're going to take a look at this guy and see what that's like. Pop that nut off. Guard out of the way. This is the sprocket that's going to drive the chain. And if we just lift this off, we can get it out of the way. Now we can see this screw right here. This is the screw, the screwdriver that comes in the kit. This is what you're going to use to adjust the tension. When we go this way with it, counterclockwise, it's going to loosen the tension. When we go clockwise on it, it's going to pull that bar out and increase the tension on the blade. I have used this already. That's why there's some wood dust in here. I didn't want to review this unless I thought it was halfway decent. They do give us some really nice files for use in sharpening. These look like a structured diamond file. And they give us a brush for getting this guy clean after we've gone and dirtied it up like I did. Bravo to CC for knowing me well enough to give me some tools to keep it clean and tuned up. But yeah, let's go, let's get this blade back on. There we go. Now, right now, that is way too loose. You would never want to chain that loose in service. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our screwdriver right down in that hole, and we're going to go clockwise on that screw, and that's going to pull that blade out away from the sprocket and take up that tension. That's pretty close. With tension on it, you don't want to be able to see the end of a tooth. That's how we set tension on a chainsaw blade. And this is true of pretty much any chainsaw kind of tool. Still a little loose. Give it a little bit more. Make sure it's down and flat against there. That's probably good. Maybe a little more. Too tight, and it's going to overheat the bar and destroy your chain on you, and you're going to be unhappy. Once you get that all worked out, then you can pop your chain guard back on, followed by your bar nut. And then you're going to snug this down. You do want to make sure that this blade is going to cut towards you. So these edges, the sharp edges of the blade, are going to point that way. You want to make sure you're mindful of which way the tooth goes in this picture to keep that right. And tightened up, that's pretty good. That's pretty good tension right there. Again, important to oil that bar. Now these batteries, you're going to want to charge these when you get this tool. And there's no charging cradle for these guys. You're going to plug the AC charger right into these ports on the battery and charge them up. And the only indication you're going to have of what your state of charge is actually on the charger wall wart itself. It's going to tell you red for charging, green for fully charged. And once you put them in, you are good to go. And this guy is really aggressive in wood. So we're going to take a look at that with you. Okay, let's get this guy ready to rock and roll here. First thing we're going to do is get some oil in this oil container. And I really recommend using only chainsaw bar lubricant. You could use motor oil in a pinch, but I think the stickiness of the bar lube really makes sense. Chainsaws have been using this stuff for years. It's generally a good choice. So we're just going to put this right between the chain and the bar on both sides, and you could probably do this every 5 or 6 cuts or so would be fine, and just to keep it lubed up and going. Now let's get safe and let's get to work. Man, that just rips right through some wood right there. This is all apple, by the way, seasoned apple. So this isn't like some softwood. This is proper hardwood. Now this is super handy, especially if you're just doing some, trimming some small stuff off. This isn't meant for processing firewood for your family. This is meant for pruning and getting some trimming done. But it does a really good job at that. And remember, you can always tell how healthy your chain sharpness is by the size of the chips. This is really good. All right, welcome back everybody to this review of the CC Power Tool. Do keep this guy with the battery out of it so that no accidents happen, because this could make your day go really bad really quick. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been a lot of fun looking at this tool with you.